Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to install wheel bearings on a Harley today. The procedure is pretty much the same for most bikes, so check it out. You're going to want to take some anti-seize, put it inside the race, coat it pretty evenly but not too thick. It doesn't need to be thick at all. You can do that to both sides of the wheel. Then you take a new bearing and you coat it with anti-seize, a thin coat. Anti-seize on the bearing and anti-seize in the wheel. When you hammer the bearing in place, you want to hammer on the outside edge of the bearing. If you hammer on the inside, it can damage the bearing. To get the first bearing started, you lightly seat it with your fingers, and then you tap around it. You got to make sure you don't hit this inner race. If you hit the inner race, it can damage the bearings. Once you get it down and centered, you can take a bearing tool and you have to find the appropriate size so that it's just a little bit smaller than the bearing itself, but so that you're hammering on the outside edge. You want to make sure that it actually fits inside the race. If it's too big, it'll get stuck. You can tell when you're all the way down because the pitch, the tone changes, and you can feel it stop. And at that point, you don't need to hammer any harder. It's all the way in place. Once you have the first bearing in place, you have to put the spacer in the wheel. So drop your spacer in the side. Make sure it's fully seated. Don't forget to put anti-seize on your bearing and inside the wheel. And lightly seat it with your fingers. And go around the outside edge with a hammer. And tap it in place with your tool. Once you have the bearing in place, you want to feel inside to make sure that the spacer isn't moving up and down. If you have up and down movement on the spacer, then that means that one of the bearings isn't fully seated. And there you go. Bearings fully installed, ready to put a tire on. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe and comment below, and I'll be making more videos like this to help you guys out. Thanks a lot. Keep watching.